Well, I didn't have my mic on, so I'm going to real quickly go through what I just covered. So this came into 402 vinyl. The shop owner bought this off of ShopGoodwill. It was packaged poorly. Painter's tape, that's how you want to ship things, right? Painter's tape, because that's real reliable and rugged. Luckily, they did remove the platter, which is nice. The hinges, right? This is suffering from kind of that common busted hinge that you see on Thorens turntables. By the way, this is a TD 165. I do have a hinge repair kit that I bought somewhere. It's been absolutely crazy in my garage with repairs, so I need to locate that, but I do have that hinge repair kit floating around here somewhere. Just need to locate it. But we're not going to do that today anyway. First, I'm going to remove the packing tape. I'm sorry, the painter's tape. At least they didn't use duct tape, but even this is pulling off some of the veneer. ShopGoodwill, absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible at shipping things. This cap is busted. I don't know. Jeez. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Good job. Good job, ShopGoodwill. Well, I mean, I guess, you don't want the sub platter to break free. So I guess that's good, but, you don't want to pull the frickin' veneer off the side. And this is unlike any painter's tape I've seen. This stuff is real sticky. Wow. That's nice. That's really nice. So I thought this would be a real quick process. Otherwise, I would have sped through it. All I want to do is get this stuff removed and test the motor. See if the motor's working. All right. It looks like it's going to take me a little while to get this thing unraveled. So, well, maybe not. I don't buy off of ShopGoodwill, especially turntables anymore, because I had a video with a shipping fail and I was really torqued about that. So I don't order from them anymore. The shop owner, as a matter of fact, when Mike, that's his name, Mike, he bought 3 or 4 turntables and only one arrived undamaged. And this was, there might have been 2. There might have been 2. I'm just looking at my bench. Yeah, there might have been 2. This was one that didn't arrive undamaged, but I don't know that they did a real good job packing it. At least as far as their choice of materials go. All right, so here we have the Thorens. That's unraveled. Let's go to 33. It has a belt. I'm going to throw the platter on. Well, first let's just plug it in. See what happens. Looks like the RCA cables are present. Motor's spinning. Control works. These are fairly reliable turntables, and they're pretty easy to get sorted out, which is a good thing. It's going to take a second to get up to speed. I'll test the speed here in a little bit, but if it's moving, it's likely going to be okay. Now this cap here, the little tabs are broken off of it. I don't know if you can see that. This is a very common issue with these, where you get it and this cap is not there. And oh no, I guess they're intact enough to where I can kind of put it on, but it's going to be pretty loose. I'm going to have to come up with a solution for that. It's also got, this was a custom job, a sinker, right, from a fishing sinker. Now I think I have a Thorens weight, or I have a weight that will work on this. So I'll have to see if I can locate that. So it looks like the turntable motor is good. I'm not sure what's going on with this though. I know it has a cartridge. It has an ADC, that makes sense. So it has an ADC cartridge. These are real light tracking cartridges. I'll remove this. I'm going to put a different card on it. I don't know which model ADC this is, but I'm going to replace that. I'm going to put on a little Audio-Technica 3600L. What I wanted to see was if this tone arm elevator is working. Excuse me, and it is. I think. Yeah, it's working. All right. What do you say we just throw this on there? Now my phone is a little heavy, so I want to make sure this doesn't push down on that platter. Now the top's already scratched a little bit. And again, I don't know the status of this belt. I doubt it's OEM. I doubt it's the right size. This has not been serviced, but right now we're running at about 32 rotations per minute. I think we can do better than that. I do have what's allegedly a genuine Thorens belt. It's marked Thorens. I think I got this from Vinyl Nirvana, so I'm pretty sure that's a good belt. But we're going to have to sort this out. So first, I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to unplug it. And I'm going to go, this also needs to be tuned. I think this is sitting way too high. Yeah, I think somebody's tweaked the springs on this and it's real stiff, so I'm gonna address that as well. Make sure that's dialed in. But first, and I'm gonna speed through this, I'm gonna go through and lube. And there's a little retention guide there I'm gonna have to remove from underneath, but we're going to lube that motor. That seems to be all right. You know what? Just for the heck of it, let me do this. I'm going to do this instead. So, now that's riding all the way down. This shouldn't be all the way down on there. This should be up just a little bit. To raise this pulley, to lift this pulley up and down for the motor, one easy way to do it, if you can't just grab it and pull it up, is to grab a couple of spoons and kind of slowly rock it up. What I want to do is I want to pull that up a little bit because I want to be able to get a little bit of oil right on the bearing, the top bearing there. So I'm gonna take this belt out. I'm gonna go grab some spoons. I'm gonna kind of speed through doing that, raising that up a little bit. Plus, when you raise this, you can actually adjust the speed. So once I get the OEM belt on it, put the platter on it, I can, through manipulating how high or low this sits, right? I can adjust the speed that way. So I'm going to be right back, grab some spoons, and we can get that lubed and then see where we're at with speed. All right, so one thing this is missing the 45 adapter that also serves to kind of help hold this slip mat in place. It's not a huge issue, but I'm probably going to put a cork mat on this. I'll include this when we sell it. I don't think I have one of these around here anywhere, but I just wanted to point that out. So let's see where we're at with speed now. Let that get up to speed. Notice how it started right up. There was some hair wrapped around the spindle, the motor spindle shaft. So cleared that out of there, kind of degunked it a little bit, sprayed it with a little bit of oil, and now let's see where we're at speed-wise. 33.4, pretty good. What I also did is I raised that pulley just about 1/4 of an inch. It was actually rubbing on the top of the plinth, so raising it a little bit got this dialed in pretty good. All right, so that was fairly easy. Now let's look at, although this is fine, I don't really think this probably needs to be lubricated. I am going to lubricate this. To do that, we're going to have to flip this over And I'm going to take this little weight off. I think I have one that I can replace that with, but I'm not sure. Something's rolling around the bottom of this too. Something's loose on the inside there. I was hoping maybe like the original weight came flying out of the bottom of this, but no such luck. All right, so let me grab a screwdriver here and take these feet off. These feet are trashed. I probably will need to order some replacements for this. I do have some, it's too big. I do have some vibropods, and I've stuck those on the bottom of these before. Vinyl Nirvana sells some feet upgrades. I may have a set. I may also have some alternative feet that would work on this. I need to see what I have in my stash. You know, a lot of times when these come in, the feet are gone. It's the bottom is screwed in, and then you have just felt pads, or, you know, like I said, vibropods. People will just kind of put whatever under. I mean, I've got them before where there's nothing. It's just sitting on the screws. Man, this is all right. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, that's just the tape. I was like, oh, I'm still hoping that counter or that anti-skate weight is here somewhere. That'd be nice. So let's pull this off. Right, so there's the, I don't know if you can see it, there's the clip. Right, so this has to be removed so you can remove the inner platter. That's also a ground wire. Oh, and that's what's rolling around in here, a little tiny, it's like a stylus brush. So let's put this over. Oh, what was that? And that's something, I don't know what that is. Lots of little goodies floating around here. So now, that clip has got to come out of there somehow. There we go. So there's the clip that holds that in there. I thought it would just slide out. No such luck. Dry as a bone. So what I'll do, just to be safe, is I'll take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and I will drop that down into the spindle shaft. No bearing in these. Sometimes there's a ball bearing that sits at the bottom. Don't have to worry about it on these. That's actually pretty clean. Not a whole lot going on there. Let me just wipe this down real quick. Hit it with a paper towel. There's just a little tiny bit of oil residue, but not much. Now, people have asked me what I like to use. I use this stuff, and I've used this ever since I started the channel. I'm almost out. It's called reel butter, and it's basically for fishing reels. The only reason I use this is basically it's a synthetic motor oil, and I have it. So that's what I use. Am I going to replace the reel oil with something else, or with another bottle of reel oil? No, I'll get something different. I'm just using that because it's here and it's paid for. So now we can put that back on. That should be all right. So as you can see, these Thorens turntables are pretty easy to service. Now, I was mentioning the suspension. This suspension has been tweaked. The paint that... No, you know what? It hasn't. I don't think it has. I think that's the original... That's how they originally had the suspension. That's interesting, because to me it feels a little bit stiff. Because it's painted, factory painted, so... The fact that the factory paint is still there leads me to believe that this was adjusted at the factory and probably not touched since then. You know, I think I'm going to put that bottom back on. I'm going to see if I can find some replacement feet for this. No, actually what I'll do instead, because I'm pretty sure I don't have any, I'm just going to screw the bottom on. These feet are destroyed, so I'm going to screw the bottom on, and then I'll either have to order some feet or just put some felt pads or some fiber pods on this, but I'm going to button the bottom up on this. There's really not anything else to do underneath on a Thorens that I'm aware of, other than tweak the suspension if you had to do that for some reason. I don't know if I did a video on it, but I just did a Thorens TD 165 that I pulled out of a box, and I want to say it didn't have any feet on it at all. These were just screwed in the bottom like this, but this will be kind of boring. So let me come back after I get these feet in and talk about what we're going to do next. Right, so put the bottom back on. Undo this power cord. Man, that's pretty nasty. I'm going to have to clean that off. So I think what the next step will be is, number one, straight. All right, so motor is good. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do the cosmetic cleanup of the top, and I'm going to see if I have a cork mat for this, and then I'm also going to put a new cartridge on this. So I think I'll probably do that off camera. I don't know that it's going to be real exciting to watch me clean this. I'm also going to use some wax and feet on the sides. There is some damage to the veneer beyond the tape, and the tape really didn't do much to it. It just pulled a little bit of color out. Oh, and that's what I was hoping. So there's the weight. The weight was actually in the turntable, so that's good. Actually, let me show you how I fixed that first, and it's a really, really easy way to do that. So you have the original weight, you have the original line. Here we have a fishing sinker pinch weight that was put on this. So what I do with these is I'll feed the nylon line through the bottom of the weight. Now, if the nylon line is missing, I use nylon thread that I bought from like a Michael's, right? Like a craft store. So I'll use the thread. Now, one thing you'll miss if you're using the thread is that you miss the little barrel to form that loop on the end. But what I like to do, I used to try to tie these in knots, and it was always kind of a pain in the butt. Now I use UV glue, and what I do is I will adjust the end of the line to where it is not protruding out the bottom, but is basically a line to the bottom, and then I'll put a drop of UV glue in there on the bottom. Okay. Then I wipe off the excess as well as I can, and if it's on there, because it dries clear, it's not a big deal. And then I just zap it with the UV light, and it'll hold that in there. I've never had one of these fail. Right, zap it with the UV light for a handful of seconds. Now this one's actually sticking out the bottom a little bit. Right, so there we go. So, if it sticks out the bottom, number one, you can't even see it. So with this one, it's sticking out maybe a 64th of an inch. But you can also just trim that really easily. Right, but there you go. So original anti-skate weight held in place with a little bit of UV glue. Done. Easy peasy. All right, so let me get to replacing this cartridge, cleaning this off. We'll give it a sound check, and then we'll see what we have to do from there. So I will be back in a little bit. So please excuse the heater running in the background, but it's December and it's cold. So here's where the Thorens TD 165 is. I've cleaned everything up. I've applied feed and wax to the plinth. I did have to replace the RCA cables. I did not record that. Let's zoom in just a little bit here. I did not record that. And that was very straightforward. I got a bunch of these gray RCA cables in. They're in really good condition. I kind of kept with the original color scheme on this, so I just used some gray RCA cables, and they work just fine. I did replace the cartridge with an Audio-Technica AT3600. I found a cork mat for this because the little 45 adapter is missing. And then I worked on the dust cover. So here's what's going on with the dust cover. This dust cover is beat to snot. What I had to do, one of the hinges was broken, so I bought a set of these plates off of eBay, and these are cheap. They're like between 10 and 20 bucks. And if you have a dust cover on a Thorens where it's cracked like that, right, you can actually kind of glue these. I epoxy them to the outside. That's a horrible view there, but I epoxy them to the outside just with a 2-part epoxy, and yeah, they stay, and it's good enough, right? It's good enough to put this on here and hinge the dust cover back and forth. All right, so we got that down here. Sometimes I have to shave these. I haven't fitted this one yet. Sometimes the hinge has to be, what I've had to do in the past was where the opening is, sometimes the plastic, right, there's not enough room, so I have to kind of shave some of that plastic down. Looks like I'm gonna have to do that on this one. These are not exact. These are not exact, and all I do is I take my Dremel, and it takes about 2 minutes, right? I just kind of shave it down, and then we're done. But again, I'm not going to worry about that right now, but I do want to show you the final dust cover after cleaning. Man, that's... So here's, and I guess I can't show you that until I fix the hinges. Anyway, here's the final condition of the dust cover. It's better than it was. These are very, very, very deep scratches, so they're not going to come out, right? This dust cover is in pretty crappy condition anyway. These are like really deep scratches or burns. You can hear them. So that's not coming out. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This was a turntable that was purchased from ShopGoodwill. I didn't buy it. I don't know that I would have recommended buying it because it's in kind of bad shape. And you know, all in, I had to put, we got a cork mat, we got a head shell, we got a new RCA cables, we got a belt, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a good $60 worth of stuff in here to get this to a point where it's one that we can work with. So I think that's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna adjust I'm gonna shave down, right, the plastic on these so I can fit these hinges back on, and then this will be good to go. So I think that's going to wrap it up for the Goodwill Thorens TD 165. As always, if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.